let's continue with chapter 4, choices. It's another letter from Miss Junie B herself. Tuesday. Dear first grade journal, recess was not fun today. I sat on the playground and I stared at my sore toe through my piggy toe window. She crossed out window. Sheldon sat next to me. He kept pressing on his red Band-Aid and saying, ouch. I told him, knock it off. I am not in a good mood. From Junie B, first grader. After I got done writing, I heard talking in the front room. I looked up. Lucille was standing at Mr. Scary's desk. Camille and Chanel were standing there too. All of them were blabbering about the exact same thing. Mr. Scary covered his ears. Finally, he said, whoa, whoa, whoa at them, and he pointed for them to sit back down. After that, Mr. Scary stood up, and he walked to the front of the room. Boys and girls, it has come to my attention that not everyone in room 1 wants to play in a kickball tournament, he said. His eyes glanced over to Camille and Chanel. It seems that 2 of our classmates would rather be cheerleaders, he said, and another one would like to be, this time his eyes glanced at Lucille. Homecoming queen, he said. Lucille sprang right up. No, princess, she called out. I want to be homecoming princess. Mr. Scary, not queen. Princesses are way cuter than queens. Plus, princesses aren't old. She looked at the children and fluffed herself. Wait till you see me, everyone. I'm going to have a beautiful float made out of pink rose petals, she said, and there will be a golden throne for me to sit on. She looked all around the room. Maybe a few of you girls might like to be my attendants, she said, but my Nana will have to look you over first. Mr. Scary went to the sink in the back of the room and took an aspirin. Room 1 started buzzing around Lucille. Then some of the children started thinking about different jobs they could have in the tournament too. Hey, maybe I can be the game announcer on the loudspeaker, said Roger, and after the game I can pour root beer on the winners. Yeah, said Shirley, and I could sell Rice Krispie treats. My mother says those things are all profit. Just then, May jumped up, and I could do crowd control, she called out, because I already have a badge at home. And so all I'll need is a big stick to poke people with and a gas mask. Mr. Scary took another aspirin. Then he walked back to his desk and took a deep breath. Okay, here's the best I'm going to do for you guys, he said. I'll give everyone in here 2 choices of jobs. You can either play the game as part of the team, or you can be a cheerleader. But that's it. That's my best offer. At Christmas time, I don't want to skip a page. Lucille stood up at her desk. She flounced her dress, very upset. Then she plopped back down again. After that, Sheldon stood up too, and he pointed to his Band-Aid. But what about this, Mr. Scary? Have you forgotten about my injury, he asked. I can't play in the game, remember? And cheerleading is just for girls. Mr. Scary frowned. Well, that's not actually true, Sheldon. Lots of colleges have male cheerleaders, he said. But since you and Junie B both have injuries, I'll let you 2 pick different jobs to do in the tournament, okay? That would only be fair. Sheldon looked relieved. Yes, he said. I was hoping you'd say that because I already know what I'm going to do. He quick climbed on his chair and made an announcement. I'm going to do a halftime show. I'm going to do a halftime show, he shouted. Mr. Scary grabbed him and put him back in his seat. A halftime show, he asked, kind of curious. Sheldon nodded real fast. Yes, he said, because my dad used to play the cymbals in high school band, and he already taught me how. Plus, he still has his band uniform, so my mother can fix it to fit me, and then I can march and play the cymbals like a real professional band guy. Sheldon clapped his hands together. And wait, here's another idea. Maybe I can sing too, because I learned some songs at Christmas time, and my dad says I can almost carry a tune. Mr. Scary smiled. You know what, Sheldon? I think that's a fine idea, he said. In fact, I think a little halftime entertainment would be excellent. Sheldon clapped some more. Yay! I'll start practicing as soon as I get home, he said. Mr. Scary smiled again. Then he raised his eyebrows. And he looked back at me. So, Junie B, what do you think? If Sheldon is a halftime show, would you like to be in it too? He asked. I bet playing an instrument wouldn't be too hard on your sore toe, and I'm sure Sheldon would be happy to have another band member. I did a loud groan. Then I put my head back on my desk, and I covered up with my sweater again. Chapter 5, Lemonade. After school, Mr. Scary called Mother at her work, and he told her that I got disappointed about the tournament. That's how come for dinner that night, Mother made my favorite meal of paschetti and meatballs. Plus, she and Daddy tried to be extra nice to me. I know you're upset about not being in the kickball game, Mother said, but everyone has disappointments in life, honey. I was still in a bad mood. I hate disappointments. I hate them, I said. Daddy patted me. Yes, well, we all hate being disappointed, Junie B, he said, but Mr. Scary said you can still do something fun in the tournament. I did a mad breath. I hate that dumb tournament. I hate it, I said. Daddy squinted his eyes at me. He said to stop saying hate. I hate saying hate. I hate it, I said. After that, Daddy picked me up and he carried me to my room for a timeout. It was not unexpected. It was not unexpected. Sorry. I waited till he was gone. I hate timeouts. I hate them. I whispered to my stuffed animals. It shouldn't be funny. I'm sorry. Named Philip, Johnny, Bob. I hate them too, Junie B, he said back. I hate everything you hate. You and me hate everything exactly the same. I hugged him very tight. I love that guy. After that, both of us flopped on my bed and we calmed ourselves down. Pretty soon, Mother came and got me, and she took me back to the table. I did not talk to Daddy. Also, I did not talk to my baby brother named Ollie, because he is just learning words, and all he keeps saying is moo. Mother tried to be nice some more. Are you sure you wouldn't like to be a cheerleader, Junie B? She said. I know you couldn't jump up and down on your sore toe, but you could still yell and shout for your team. Daddy did a chuckle. And he and yelling and shouting are right up your alley, he teased. I did not laugh at that remark. Daddy poked me. Oh, don't be so glum, he said. Being a cheerleader wouldn't be so bad, would it? Every little girl likes being a cheerleader. I rolled my eyes at the ceiling. But I'm not every little girl, Daddy. I am just me, Judy B. Jones, and I don't want to be a cheerleader. I want to be on the kickball team. Just then, my nose started to sniffle very much. I even had a daydream about it, I said. I was the star of the whole entire game, and it was very wonderful. Only now that is never going to happen. Mother gave me a hug. Well, no one can be a star all the time, she said. It's just like I said earlier. Everyone has disappointments sometimes. Right, said Daddy. And when life hands you lemons, you have to learn to make lemonade. I looked weird at that man. Huh? I said, what's lemonade got to do with this? Mother smiled. It's just a saying, Junie B, she said. It means that when life goes a little bit sour, you need to find a way to sweeten it up a bit. Just then, Daddy went to the refrigerator and he took out 3 lemons. Here, look, I'll show you, he said. He held up the lemons for me to see. See what I have here, he said. Those are just 3 sour old women. Wait, let me try that again. They're just 3 sour old lemons, right? I did a shrug. I guess so. Daddy grinned. Ah, but maybe these sour lemons are more fun than they look, he said. Then one by one, he threw each lemon into the air. And wow, he started to juggle them. I mean it. He did. My daddy juggled those lemons way high up in the air, and I didn't even know that he had that talent. I clapped and cheered, very thrilled. Ollie clapped too. Also, he said moo. Then all of us started to laugh, and Daddy did a bow. Do you see what I mean now? He asked. I turned 3 sour lemons into something fun. And you can do the same thing, Junie B, said Mother. All you have to do is think of something fun to do in the kickball tournament, and then your sour situation will turn happy too. Understand? I nodded very fast. I do, Mother. I do understand, I said. And guess what else? I think you already know what I'm going to do. I jumped down from my chair and I picked up the lemons from the counter. I think I'm going to juggle. I said very joyfully. I'll juggle in Sheldon's halftime show, and then everyone will clap and cheer, and I will be the star of the whole production. After that, I stood in the middle of the kitchen, just like Daddy did, and one by one I threw each lemon into the air. I kept my eyes on them very perfect. Only too bad for me, because two of them crashed into the table, plus the other one hit Ollie in the head. He started to cry. I patted him real fast. Then I quick picked up the lemons and I hurried up to my room because juggling was going to take a little practicing, apparently. Apparently. And there were only 3 days left until Friday. All right, that was the end of chapter 5. So we will continue chapter 6 on our next video.